Let the baby go. Straight out of the bubble. You see this? This is the official. Straight out of the bubble. Baby goat. Yeah.
Who sent it to you?
No, just sit there. You can see, Skip.
Rich Paul? Everett Carter?
No.
Somebody did. Randy,
AD did.
Randy Mims?
AD. That my dog. Skip.
Last night he was.
No, I am not surprised that LeBron didn't take the last shot because they said, AD said after the game, it was drawn up for LeBron. But Skip, here's the thing. If you see what they did, okay, Rondo's taking the ball out. He has 7-foot Jokic guarding him. Remember now, they bring in Plumlee, who's a leaper, because they don't want anything close to the basket because you got Jeremy Grant, 6'8", 6'9". He's fronting LeBron. What Plumlee does not know, and what Grant doesn't know is that AD is peeling. Plumlee is saying, switch, and Grant was probably thinking, switch what? Nobody's coming to pick me. Why are we switching? So he's motioning for Grant to get out. And Skip, if you remember, right before this the shutdown happened, AD had that very shot against the Nets for the game winner.
LeBron brought it up after the game.
The exact same shot. And you remember the next day, Skip, they showed in practice. Here it is right here. This is the exact same shot.
Yep.
Exact same shot. And now the next day, they're practicing it, and he hit that shot. LeBron says, I put him in that situation again. I know it's gonna happen. And he took that shot. Skip, nothing Anthony Davis is doing surprises me. The only thing is that Anthony Davis is on television every single night. When he was in New Orleans, you look at his numbers. AD was 25-12, 26-12 on a nightly basis. But when you play it in obscurity or you're not competing for a title, nobody cares about those numbers. Everybody says he's putting up numbers in a losing effort. Now he's putting up those exact same numbers in winning efforts. AD has not changed. AD was always, he's a unicorn. Because, Skip, he can shoot the three. He got a mid-range game because he had that going last night. He can put the ball on the floor like a guard, get to the rim. You foul him, he's going to make 80% of his threes. And when you factor in his defense, nobody in the NBA is more complete than Anthony Davis. Not Giannis, because Giannis ain't shooting no threes. He's terrible from the free throw line, and he has absolutely no mid-range game. That's why he gets bounced every year, because once they build a wall, guess what, Skip? He can't get over it. So,
Time out. Does Kevin Durant still play in the NBA?
Skip, hold on.
I'm just asking.
Yes, he does.
It's like he's retired.
Let me ask you a question. Is KD as good a defensive player as Anthony Davis?
He can be in that range. He can be up in that level.
Anthony Davis, when you
talked about wanting to win Defensive Player of the Year before.
Oh, yeah. He should have won it. That guy right there should have won it, Skip. And so, Skip, when you think you draw up a play, and that's the great luxury to have, you draw up a play for one superstar, and they take that away from you, you have the other guy that can take the ball and can make shots. Now, what we heard all season, the reason why the Clippers are going to beat the Lakers is because they're mentally tough. They have more mentally tough guys than the Lakers have. What happened every time the Nuggets made their run at the Clippers? Skip, can you tell the people at home? They fold like a lawn banquet chair at the end of the night. 4 times they had the lead. 4 times the Nuggets walked them down. My guys had a 16-point lead. Jokic is making shot after shot after shot. My guys, he worried about this here. Anthony Davis said, yo, okay, we want to do this. We're going to go tit for tat. Okay, come do this. Jokic did his thing. Anthony Davis followed him up. Hey, Jokic's a load. Now, Skip, the likelihood of Jokic shooting a high percentage from the field is not going to be very good because they got 3 guys that can bother him. You got AD, you got Dwight, and you got JaVale McGee. So he's not going to get easy shots. Down the stretch, the shots that he was making, Skip, man, you just tip you shake the guy's hand and say, man, that's a hell of a shot. But they're contesting it. I'm not surprised AD made this shot. I'm not surprised LeBron didn't take it, but that's a great luxury to have. That's why we're going to win the title, because we have something nobody else. We got 2 legit, bona fide superstars.
Okay, you talked and talked and talked and talked and talked, and it is now my turn. I am about to unleash on everything you just said, because clearly you swept it all under your little rug over there that you have. Your man, LeBron James, at the end of that game, was even luckier than his Dallas Cowboys were a little earlier in the day with that onside kick recovery.
What happened?
Your man, AD, your number 3 jersey that you held up, he took your man LeBron right off the hook at the end of the game because LeBron wasn't just going to be the GOAT of that game. He was going to be the lowercase GOAT, as in G-O-A-T, as in barnyard GOAT, as in he was going to get all the blame for the blunder of blowing that lead.
He might have had a few turnovers.
Yeah, he had a few turnovers, but let's step back and look at what happened in the fourth quarter. Your man played 10 minutes of the fourth quarter. He went 1 for 6, LeBron did. He was 0 for 3 from 3 because he got off hot, making a couple threes. It's like, I got this. I got this. No, you don't got this. And he had 2 more turnovers, 6 total, but the 2 in the fourth quarter kept reopening the door for the Nuggets. Were the Nuggets outstanding in the fourth quarter the way they were against the Clippers in games 5 and 6? No. In games 5 and 6 in the fourth quarter, the Clippers went 7 of 9 from 3. Guess what they were last night in the fourth quarter? 1 of 7. Yeah. They made 1 3, and they should have won the game. 1 3 in the fourth, and they were right there with the 1-point lead. So what happened on the final play of the game? Well, as you correctly surmised, Mason Plumlee got subbed in with 2.1 left. Let's go back just a split second. Okay, so your man Caruso, he takes the 3 to win from the top of the circle.
Right.
It's a little off and a little left. If Denver gets the rebound, you're cooked. Yeah. You're done.
Yeah.
Instead, it goes left hard, and there are lots of hands on the ball, and it winds up in Danny Green's hands, and he's like, I got this. I'm going to shoot it. And Jamal Murray flies across his face and cleanly blocks it. And knock the ball up in the air. And if Jamal can somehow save it inbounds to a teammate, the game is over. Yes. But he couldn't hold on to the basketball. Okay, so now Mike Malone says, well, they just need a bucket. They just need a point to tie to send it to overtime. They'll probably lob this toward the rim and have AD try to swoop to the hoop and stuff it or get fouled and go to the free throw line because we know he can make his late game free throws. So what happens? He says, I need Mason Plumlee in there because he's not quite 7 feet, but he can jump.
Well, yeah, he's a leaper.
And he's strong, and he can be
big body. Yes.
Okay. So he's going to guard AD, and Jeremy Grant, as usual, is going to guard LeBron. And to your point, Jokic, with that wily length of his, he's going to be all over. And they subbed in Rondo to throw the inbounds pass because Rondo asked Vogel, he said on the sideline, can I go in and do this? And everybody said, yeah, send it. And of course, Frankie V, he didn't know what to do. He's just like, yeah, whatever you guys want to do. Is LeBron okay with this?
Well, Skip, look, you want one of your 2 best passers to always be on the inbound. So obviously you drew up to play for LeBron, so you don't want LeBron on the inbound, so the next best option is Rondo.
Okay, so here's what happens. Rondo, do we have that sound of Rondo? He described his thought process on the last play. Do we have that? Here we go.
You got it?
Maybe not. Okay,
I think I made eye contact with every player on my team that play. My first look was Kenny backdoor. That wasn't there. Danny backdoor wasn't there. Brian and I looked eye to eye, but he didn't move, and then I saw already coming on the outside and try to get it to him on time on target. I had Joker on me, so obviously I couldn't throw a lob pass, and he did the rest.
Okay, so he says, I locked eyes with all 4 of my teammates on the floor.
You tried to go backdoor twice.
When I looked at LeBron, he did not move. Well, guess why he didn't move? Because he was cold. He wanted no part of the last play that was called for him. He just said, somebody else do it because I am cold. I don't want to screw this up. I don't want to be 1 for 7 at the end of the night. And he just stands still the whole play. He does not move. And Jeremy Grant just stands there like, I guess I don't have to play defense. So what does AD do? Instead of swoop to the hoop, he just cuts across, all the way across the top of the circle. And Mason Plumlee is shocked. He is so shocked.
You know, he played it for the back door to Skip. He's played it for the lob.
Okay, and nothing happens. And all of a sudden, he panics and he thinks, surely they're going to pick for AD. No, they're not going to pick for AD. He's the last option on the play. And he runs to Jeremy Grant like, you take him. And Jeremy Grant's looking at him like, there's no pick here. We're not picking.
Jeremy Grant can't see Skip because he's locked eyes on, he's with LeBron. He's fronting LeBron, so he don't know what's going on. There might be a vendor on the court selling popcorn at the back end. He doesn't know. You can't say go pick when nobody comes to pick him.
Nobody's picking him, and he's looking at Plumlee like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
So you have 2 guys guarding the one guy who's not going to move and who doesn't want any part of the basketball. And all of a sudden, there's the lob, to the wing,
Right.
to AD, and Joker, who has the highest basketball IQ, says, oh my God, I gotta run.
Yes.
So he pivots and runs and flies at AD and
Right.
got there a split second late.
If AD is not, Skip, if AD is 6'4", Joker probably blocks that shot. Because AD is 6'10" and a half, and because he elevates. Skip, look how high he shoots that jumper and how high the ball goes in the air. Look at Joker. That's as fast as we've ever seen Joker move. Because he's on the inbound, Skips. He sees that Rondo bounce past it. He pivots, and I got to try.
He tried, and he almost got there.
Yes.
But I got to give AD credit. He shot that with such conviction,
Yes.
such authority. You can tell when a man goes up into a jump shot like he means it. He meant that.
Yes.
And shot it like he thought he was going to make it. And what did he yell when the ball swished?
Kobe.
Kobe! Because they're wearing their Black Mamba
Yep.
jerseys.
Yep.
It's the third time they've worn them.
Always game
3-0, right?
Yep.
And it works.
Yep.
Because he believes it.
Yep.
In his head, he went Kobe. He just like he channeled Kobe, and he shot it like he was Kobe
Yep.
against Phoenix the last time they had a walk-off
Right.
at the end of a playoff game, and Kobe did this.
Yep.
Remember? Okay, so the point was that LeBron James has the play called for him, and I don't even know what he was supposed to do. But Shannon, he didn't move.
Right. And that's